In the future, we have defeated the Anunnaki. In the future, the next time that they were supposed to come around, and there was supposed to be this catastrophic pole shift that was going to basically almost take 85% of the human population out, which would have been very convenient for the Anunnaki that are coming back, less people to deal with and to control. A lot of people are like, why haven't they come back? Well, besides the fact that they left their hybrids to rule us as royal families, there are too many humans. There are too many humans. It's not like it was last time. Consider that for them, a year is 3,650 years for us. One orbit of their planet around the sun that does this elliptical orbit is 3,650 years. So basically, if you do the calculations using the Bible and other ancient texts, it's about now, and the crossing point between Mars and Jupiter. And by crossing point, I literally mean that when it does this and it gets in between the two planets, it creates what it looks like. They call it the radiant planet. And guess what? The symbol is the cross, which proves that all religions using a cross are also referring to the Anunnaki gods. In the future, we defeat them. So now these entities are coming back in time, in portals, to stop us and change the events of the world. How are they doing this and how are we not seeing it? Okay, allegedly, they are using CERN and the portals they created. CERN is responsible for all the timeline shifts that are occurring right now. There are literal portals in the underground belly of CERN that have been opened, and there are entities that are 450,000 years in the future that are coming back and forth, changing the timeline, creating new timelines. When I suspected that this was happening, I had no idea that it was CERN. CERN whistleblowers have come out to expose this. This guy right here, look at him. He was in this accident.
You know Dan Burish has been saying the same thing.
They are from the future, 45,000 years ahead of...
45,000 years ahead on a separate timeline than what we are presently on.
When you look at what is going on in the CERN, there is a fight from some of the military agencies. Intel, they say that there is a fight on time. They're trying to change time.
Others that have worked for CERN and have said things like this end up in these mysterious, unexplained accidents. You never hear from them again. The first time I exposed CERN and what they were doing is when I understood that the HLC Hadron Collider, when they're smashing the atoms together at the speed of light in these underground miles and miles of tunnels under Geneva, Switzerland, we were all afraid that they were going to create this second Big Bang scenario. They were trying to create little tiny Big Bangs, open up little tiny wormholes that could have possibly swallowed us whole and we would have ceased to exist. Not only they were never stopped, I mean, they were financed by some of the biggest countries in the world. And if you connect this to the Anunnaki stories, I mean, it just validates one and the other. In fact, one of the first whistleblowers from CERN had said that one of these Anunnaki beings, they were in contact with them. Now, of course, I'm going to say allegedly, but as a researcher, as a true history researcher in the Anunnaki scriptures and Sumerian tales, the tablets themselves explain how to create nuclear weapons, how to create portals, how to shift in times. These were beings that were millennia ahead of us, that came to Earth, and when they created their slave race, their worker race, mixing their DNA with that of a bipedal hominid here on Earth, creating Homo sapiens sapien, they presented themselves to us as gods, but they are not God, the creator of the universe, God of the Bible, God of the Hebrew Bible, God of the Muslims. All of the Abrahamic religions, all of the religions, all stem from the Sumerian stories. Those are the OG stories. These were never gods. These are extraterrestrial beings that are millennia more advanced than us, and that presented themselves to this slave worker race that they created as deities. Now, I don't know what's happening in the future, but they're coming back and they're changing things around. And that's why from one day to another, you had one kind of Trump and now there's another kind. The biggest part and the darkest part of this is there are different fractions that are coming in. There are fractions from the future. Some want this outcome and some want this other outcome. And some are trying to create other timelines that are just like independent on their own. When you hear the stories of reptilians, of elites that are cannibals, of secret societies, the most serious thing that right now we could like focus on is that extraterrestrial beings from the future are coming back in time and messing shit up. How else do you explain this horrible shit show that we are all experiencing?